When Molly Finney Baskett spent Thanksgiving last year with her brother, she didn't know it would be their last together. But less than 2 weeks later, she was told Jesse Finney, an American cameraman and filmmaker, hanged himself with a belt in the bathroom of a detention facility where he was being held in the Philippines, one day after being arrested on suspicion of violating human trafficking and child abuse laws.
Within the first couple hours, I said, wait a minute. They said he hung himself with his belt. Jesse didn't wear a belt, ever.
Suspecting foul play, Molly and her family hired a U.S.-based pathologist for a second autopsy. Reuters correspondent Nathan Lane.
So the second autopsy found several markings on his body and the circumstances to be inconsistent with a suicidal hanging. Just to highlight a few, they found 2 ligature marks on his neck, whereas in a typical suicidal hanging you'll only see 1. They also found deep bruising caused by blunt force trauma on various parts of his body.
That bruising, according to the autopsy, caused within 3 to 4 hours of his death, a period he was in police custody. The pathologist also pointed to a picture of Finney when he was arrested that showed he was not wearing a belt. Finney had been living on and off in the Philippine seaside resort destination of Cebu during President Rodrigo Duterte's war on drugs, which critics say has led to the deaths of thousands of small-time drug users and dealers in execution-style killings by law enforcement. While acknowledging she had no proof, Finney's sister Molly Finney Baskett told Reuters she feared that a culture of widespread extrajudicial killing was a contributing factor in his death. Asked about the family's concerns, a presidential spokesperson told Reuters that proper procedures would be observed in the conduct of the probe. According to a report by the National Bureau of Investigation, the Philippine counterpart to the FBI, the NBI had been tracking Finney since December 2016 after an official complaint from Cebu Vice Governor Agnes Macpale. The report alleged Finney sometimes had minors sleep at his home, took pictures of them, and gave them gifts. Molly said she believes her brother was innocent.
I can understand why the NBI, when they picked him up, were more likely to see him as guilty, and yet he deserved due process that he did not receive.
Molly says the family has hired an investigator to look into Finney's death. The NBI's regional director in Cebu says the local police is conducting its own investigation.